Good afternoon, villagers. This is Arnie. You're watching Pepper Tree Villa, and it's time for your daily dose of Disney. Hope you're all doing well. It's been a little rough here around the office, but let me go ahead and just adjust that camera a bit there. There we go. It's been a little rough around the office as we're still unpacking, but still I want to make sure I've got a little break here so I can share some time with you, our village. Mike Wheeler first nailed it. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for being here. It's September 5th, 2019. Hello, Mickey Sightings. Hello, Duke Family Chronicles. Thank you for being here. Thanks for joining me for this daily dose of Disney. Appreciate it. Hello, Lorena and little Darlin. It's great to have you all here. Wonderful. Like I said, it is September 5th, 2019. Freedom! Hi, Freedom. Good to have you here. So let's dig into this history because there's a little bit here. So, Donna Jaworski, thank you for joining. It's good to have you here. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. So today, Danny Silva, thank you for being here. So September 5th, 1927. So we're talking almost 100 years ago. This is the time when Walt was working with just a few people, his brother Roy, and they formed a little business called the Walt Disney Brothers. Disney Brothers Company, I guess is what it was called. So on this day, the very first Oswald the Lucky Rabbit cartoon was released. It was called Trolley Troubles. And this was a suggestion from the film distributor. Oh, hi, Dylan. Thank you for being here. So Walt had finished up the Alice comedies, and they decided to go to a different direction based on a recommendation from the distributor to keep animated shorts fresh. And so the new character, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, was developed. And over the next year, the Disney Brothers studio produced over 24 black and white shorts for Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. And of course, we all know what happened with that. The cartoon character, because of the licensing agreement, the way it was written with the distributor, Walt did not own Oswald. So he vowed never to have that happen again. And on his train trip back from finding out about this in New York, that's when he developed Mickey Mouse. And Lillian had a little bit to do with that too, naming him Mickey rather than Mortimer, which she found a little bit too stuffy for a mouse. I have to agree. Oh, Dylan, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're not feeling well. Hope you do feel better soon. Okay. Forward a couple years, 1929, 90 years ago. Let's say happy birthday to Bob Newhart. Now, some of you may have seen Bob Newhart before on his shows, The Bob Newhart Show and Newhart, maybe a guest appearance that he did as Professor Proton on The Big Bang Theory. But I remember him also as the voice of Bernard in The Rescuers and The Rescuers Down Under. And that's where he falls into the Disney world. So, happy birthday, Bob Newhart. He's 90 years old today. Yeah, we love Bob Newhart too, Mickey Sightings. Absolutely. Okay, let's forward about 3 decades or so. Now we're going to be dealing with a little bit of Disneyland here. In 1955, this is when Disneyland was really in development, so Walt was doing everything he could to open up as many things as possible. Amy, thank you for joining. Nice to have you here. The Disneyland Art Corner. Yeah, Bob Newhart's one of my favorites too. So on this day in 1955, the Disneyland Art Corner opened in a new permanent location in Tomorrowland. It was a souvenir shop that started at a temporary location in a little striped tent just off the hub near what is now Plaza Inn. At that time was called the Red Wagon Inn. And that's when Disneyland opened in July of 1955. Now that Tomorrowland had been somewhat completed, the Art Corner found a new home. And for some reason, they themed the store. The store's interior had a Paris theme. I'm not sure why that was decided, other than the fact that maybe a lot of art inspiration from France, but that's what it was. So among many products there, you could find postcards, flip books, artist prints, art supplies, animation kits, and this is the kicker. Animation cells, original production animation cells were available. You could just flip through them and pick them up for relatively nothing. I guess they cost like something like 50 cents to $2 depending on the complexity of the cell. So at that time, production cells were not as valuable as they are today. Try and get an original production cell and you're going to end up spending thousands of dollars on it. I know, right, Freedom? Can you believe how cheap they were? And Walt would just give them away to people when they would visit the studio. He didn't understand the value of them to the art collector as we see it now. But of course, things are much different now. That's pretty amazing. Okay, in 1966, this is the day that Disneyland officially closed the flying saucers in Tomorrowland. They had been open just about 5 years, a little over 5 years. I had covered the opening of it from 1961 just a little while ago, but they closed 5 years later. They sat in the place that is now occupied by Space Mountain and the Magic Eye Theater. They were single-seat hovercrafts, but they were difficult to maintain, and the attraction really just didn't work all that well. So also closing in Tomorrowland on this day was the Tomorrowland Jets. Formerly they were called the Astro Jets, but apparently that was a naming issue that they had. United Airlines had started sponsoring the Enchanted Tiki Room in 1963, and United Airlines did not like the fact that Astrojet appeared in Disneyland. Astrojet was actually a name for a service from American Airlines at that point. So, oh, there's a helicopter flying overhead. So sorry about the noise. So they changed the name to Tomorrowland Jets. And on this day in 1966, the Tomorrowland Jets officially closed. This was, of course, to make room for the remodeled new Tomorrowland, which would open in the summer of 1967. And eventually, the Rocket Jets came back to Tomorrowland in 1967, August 1967 to be exact. So that was with the new Tomorrowland of 67. So let's move forward. This one's a real quick one in 1983. Now remember, Tokyo Disneyland had just opened in April of 1983. I believe the date is April 15th. That is the opening day for Tokyo Disneyland. Lean, 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 I am leaning. Mike. So on this day, Tokyo Disneyland welcomed its 5 millionth guest. So in less than half a year, they had already had 5 million guests at Tokyo Disneyland. That is quite the feat. That is a lot of people going through the turnstiles. And here's another one. 1988. On September 5th, 1988, a little show started airing nationwide. It's a Disney Buena Vista production. It's called Live with Regis and Kathy Lee. 31 years ago, started airing today. It was hosted by Regis Philbin and Kathy Lee Gifford. And it started as a morning talk show just in New York City called The Morning Show. And it had been there since 1983. So they had done that show in New York City for 5 years. And then it was, I guess, picked up or produced by Disney Buena Vista. They wanted a national presence. So they took it live, nationwide in 1988. Yeah, the saucers were very hard. Sorry, Mike, I don't want to mention that. The flying saucers were very difficult. You had to lean left, lean right, forward, and backward to get them to move around. They were very difficult to move, just like the flying tires, Luigi's flying tires in Cars Land. Hello, Janet.
Hi.
Coworker walking by. It's a very beautiful day around here, so people are getting out and walking around the building to get some exercise. So that was Live with Regis and Kathy Lee in 1988. In 1994, I watched a video yesterday from Only Passengers. It was their question of the day. And they asked the question, of this attraction, Disney World's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Did you ever ride it? Me, I did not, because unfortunately on this day in 1994, it temporarily closed at the end of the day. But that temporary closure ended up being long-term, and they just shut it down altogether. Now, the attraction had been open since October 14th, 1971, and it originally held 14 submarines. It was a large submarine fleet, one of the largest in the world, as a matter of fact. So on this day, they temporarily closed it, and then almost 2 years later, they officially called the attraction forever closed. And now, some of the submarines, rather than just sell them off, some of them are sunk off the coast of Castaway Cay, Disney's private island in the Caribbean. I don't know why they did that. Hi, Cam, thanks for joining. I don't know why they sunk the submarines out there, put them out there, but that's where they are now. So, in 2004, on September 5th, Disney World theme parks have remained closed for the second day in a row after a slow-moving hurricane, Hurricane Francis, and then it slowly became Tropical Depression Francis, and it continued to slam into Florida with lots of rainfall, lots of rain. So that was 15 years ago today. And then if you had not seen it yet, if you look up my Twitter and Instagram today, you will see a picture of the logo of Disneyland's 60th anniversary, the Diamond Celebration. And I put that there because on this day, while Disneyland celebrated its 60th anniversary in 2015, the celebration went on for 2 summers. So it started in July, around sometime in July of 2015. Oh, they helped make an artificial reef for the fish. There you go. That's a very good answer. Thank you, Mike. Thank you for giving me that answer. Cams, thank you for saying hi to the village. Hi, villagers. Yes, thank you. So on this day in 2016, Disneyland ended its 60th anniversary celebration. So it officially came to an end on September 5th, 2016. So that's all I have for news today, but I also want to make sure that you know what's coming up tonight on the Disney YouTube network. Starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, someone that's right here in the chat right now, Mickey Sightings. They will be on at 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 Eastern. That starts the evening for the Disney YouTube network. Half hour later at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, Eye to Eye Disney Through Our Eyes has their regular show. They usually do like a trivia show on Thursday nights, so let's see what they do tonight. That's on Eye to Eye Disney Through the Eyes. And then at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific, we have Mouse Talk. Walt and Melissa are on. So they will be on at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific. And then following them at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, Disney World Adventures. Let's see, Susie and I have snorkeled all over the sunken Nautilus at Castaway Cay. It's really cool. You know, I did not see that while snorkeling at Castaway Cay. I did see the sunken Mickey. So maybe the Nautilus was around there and I just didn't realize that I saw it. So anyway, there it was. So anyway, again, Disney World Adventures has his show scheduled. That's Chris. He has his show scheduled at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Oh, it's further out. So yeah, then Mickey Sightings, I did not see it. If it was further out, I definitely did not see it. Okay, so about Pepper Tree Villa, today, Ben dropped a video. It went live today at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific. It is all about eating at Disneyland. Ben loves to eat in the theme parks, and today's video is about his experience at Rancho del Zocalo and Starbucks. So he starts the video off very innocently. He says, Disneyland, let's eat. Something like that. So that's just the way Ben is. I love Life with Ben. I'm sure you will too. So check it out on Pepper Tree Villa, Life with Ben. Oh, Freedom, I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, it was just part 1 of the video. Ben will be doing a part 2 video of eating at Disneyland. So that's it for today. Yeah, Ben does make me laugh, Donna. He's always a riot. So that is it for today's daily dose of Disney. I hope you've enjoyed it. I enjoyed it myself. Oh, that's right. Mouse Talk is still in Florida, so they're going to be broadcasting live from the Magic Kingdom today. They tried to do that on Tuesday, but they had to call it off because of the hurricane. They were already Magic Kingdom had already closed that day. So, oh great! Thank you so much, little darling. Yeah, definitely check it out. And if you haven't checked out all of the episodes of Life with Ben, we have a playlist there. Just click on the start button for the playlist, and you'll watch Ben go through what he considers his boring life, but I find him to be pretty entertaining. Anyway, everyone, thank you so much for joining me for today's Daily Dose of Disney. I really appreciate it. Alan, I didn't see you join there. Thank you so much. Oh, don't go yet. I just got here. Alan, I would love to be able to stay around. However, I've got to get back into my office as my lunch break is over now. So I'm sure people would start talking if they don't see me at my desk. So I've got to get going. Everyone, yeah, hit that like button on your way out of the video. And if you haven't watched the whole thing, catch it from the very beginning. And then also hit the playlist for Life with Ben. You won't regret it. Ben is very entertaining. So we have lots of playlists there. And we also have Christmas coming up. I've got a Christmas playlist there as well, but we'll definitely be adding to that this year as we decorate the Christmas forest. And that's starting, actually, believe it or not, we're going to start working on it next weekend. September 14th, we're going to start doing the organization. Yeah, Danny, can you believe it? Christmas. Yeah, so hopefully we'll have some fun with that. Yeah, Ben did choose a bad life. That. Hi, Zip, how you doing? Glad you could join us here at the end. So I'm just about done here. So everyone, have a great evening, and don't forget to catch Mickey Sightings, Eye to Eye, Disney Through Our Eyes, Mouse Talk, and Disney World Adventures. If you need any details on those, go to theliveplace.com. Dean is our wonderful webmaster there. He handles advertising for all family content channels. There are about 60 plus channels there. Do not miss that link, theliveplace.com. You'll definitely want to make sure you check out all the channels there. Dean is such a great guy too. He also has a channel himself, so check it out. Anyway, that's it for today. I've been Arnie, and you're watching PTV3D on Pepper Tree Villa. And thank you so much for being here, villagers. I really appreciate the time that you've spent with me. Yes, Mickey Sightings, Dean is amazing. So everyone, have a wonderful, magical evening, and have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. I'll see you all later. Bye.